So, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, man, posters. Yeah, Rick, you're organized. You know exactly what's going on. Just almost like you own the place or something.
Now, what is this? Someone told me there's a cabin on that side. Is that one? Is that right?
There used to be. It's hanging on the wall.
Oh, that's the cabin, but it's torn down and
Uh,
gone.
it's got some lower logs that need to be replaced, but it's still there. But the rats have kind of taken over. So we're right here right now, and so the original acreage was this piece right here, and this 80 acres up here, and this 10 here, and then this is about 3 acres right through here. This is this building here. This is the building next door. Fire station. This is the store. Post office. This is the subdivision property here. The water comes in from up here, a reservoir or a dam. Comes underground all the way to these tanks right here, and it comes down here and can be distributed throughout. We also have water rights on the river, out of the river.
Is there any limitation on that?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
But I just wondered if you know if there's a regulation.
I'm sure that there is some limits, as to what you can draw.
But the school district has their own pump station too, right? So
They pump out. They used to get their water out of here. Matter of fact, there was a tank right there, and they would get it out of there. But then they come across and get it out of the river.
yeah, we saw their station.
So this is the school property that you saw. This is a little house we have, and these 2 shops right here. This is the church and the church parsonage here.
Now the church is not part of the offer here. Right?
No, it isn't part of the offering.
Yeah, nor is the post office.
The post office is.
The property is, but the building is not.
Okay.
Well, they could leave it. I don't know.
Do you know how long their lease goes?
Yeah, it's a funky lease. It's a lease to them and rent to us, basically.
Okay.
They can pull out in 90 days.
Wow.
But I had to sign a 5 or 10 year lease. So there's a lease on our end and rent basically on
Can you point out north-south here, please?
north?
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at the map lined up how the property is.
Okay.
Right
And it looks
now.
like we're between 2 ridge lines here.
So here's the river right here.
Correct. Okay,
This
and
going
then,
right
then
here.
this piece is part of it. Everything that's surrounded in color, correct?
The red is
Just
well,
the red.
plus the store.
Plus the store.
Yeah.
So we're looking at.
So just to
there,
be
up
clear,
there.
the exclusions are the church, the school you just looked at, this little house with really no property on it, this fire station, and wasn't there a little tiny?
That's it.
One of the residences.
That's
There's
okay.
only 3 things. Well,
Yeah.
the fire. This is Forest Service
Right.
property
Yep,
here.
correct.
So that's the fire station. They have a lease or something on, or were given.
Right, that's the
that land.
federal fire station.
So the store is included. I'm trying to get the school. It's gonna be for sale, whether I end up with it or not.
Yeah, they've
so,
decommissioned it, so.
and they passed a resolution to surplus the property, which
Okay.
means it will be sold.
It looks like there's an area you've already had some plot maps developed for residential development.
Well, we have this property here. We have a preliminary subdivision approval on this parcel, this 13 acres right here. So you could put in about 6 lots
Okay.
up on this kind of a bluff, kind of a little bench right here. Not a bluff, but a bench right here, or along in here. And so you'd have like 2-acre lots coming this way, and then this would be kind of a common area. This was all part of the A.J. Tiller homestead. This 80 and this 80 was all part of the original homestead of A.J. Tiller. And So our timber property runs from, this is Elk Creek coming in right here.
Which is on the east side of the bridge.
And you can see Elk Creek coming in. I'll show
Just
you.
this side of where the bridge crosses, but on the south bank.
Well, you can see it. That's it right there.
Oh yeah,
That's Elk Creek coming in.
yeah.
That's Elk
That's
Creek.
not whitewater rafting creek, but it's a creek.
Well, it's very low right now.
Yeah.
But it will definitely put out some water.
Good.
Yeah, and there's a steelhead hole right there. I saw a couple nice spots there. There's some fishing to be had.
No doubt.
Okay, so that's this creek coming in was right there.
Okay.
That I showed you where it's coming in, and then there's the bridge here. So we've got all this outlined in red is the timber property on the south side of the river.
Okay. How many acres is that?
It's 15 acres, something like that.
How far back?
But it's really just used for logging. You're not going to develop it.
How far back?
This is just timber,
Okay.
and that's everything you see from that creek as far down as you can see is part of that property.
Okay. But is it something you would ever consider developing it, or is it just for the logging rights?
It's timber reserve,
I see.
so it's not zoned
Okay.
for any kind of development.
And excuse me if that's a stupid question. As I
It's
look,
not zoned. See,
Okay.
what we're offering here is different assets,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the assets are commercial and industrial property. Most of this along the road is commercial and industrial.
Mm-hmm.
We have some industrial here and here, so we have the commercial industrial assets, and then we have the timber assets.
Got it.
So
Is this county that allows you to define what's going to be commercial, industrial, and what's
the
residential?
county has zoned it as
see.
such. There's specific zonings.
Okay.
Now, if a person was to acquire all this and incorporate this as a town, then you can decide what you might want to do with the property. This is zoned for 2-acre lots, residential 2. So you're going to be able to say if you incorporate it as a town, then you could say, well, I want these to be 1/2-acre lots.
Okay. Right.
So you're going to decide what's going to happen
Inside city limits.
inside the city
right.
limits.
Just like any municipal, where you come from in San Diego, obviously once it's moved to the city.
But right now we have all of the zonings that we state are current
current county.
existing zone. They're not like pending,
Right.
other than the subdivision has to be proved up as far as power and access and the final plat and that type of thing.
Got it.
But all of the zonings, if we say this is commercial, it's currently zoned commercial.
Perfect.
And so we have all these.
And that's clear in the listing?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's the way it's
clear with the county.
It's public record. So the cool thing is, did you show me that picture of that bridge? I saw a bridge going across one of these rivers at one time. They went across.
Well, my dad had an engineer design kind of a walking bridge across here,
Okay.
kind of a suspension type that you could maybe drive like a 4-wheeler or something,
And hike the other side and do things
and
like
then
that?
go get over to the other side. There's a
No.
trail that goes down.
I think
Okay.
that'd be a cool recreational thing.
Oh,
Across.
yeah.
How much of what's on this side of the river is flat enough that, assuming you had rezoned it, if you had incorporated it and rezoned it, how much of this is flat enough that we could put residences there? Enough of it on that side is flat
Well,
enough to do that?
you'd have to get across there first.
Right. That's
Well, this
dropping
this
down.
is all. You've got your riverbank coming
Right.
up right in here.
Right.
Then all this along in here is fairly,
Flat?
fairly benched right
Okay.
through here.
Okay.
Then once you get up into about this area, then you start coming up, and
So along,
this is quite steep here. This is that rock right there.
so basically that's Well,
So you know, pretty much a strip along here.
yeah, I mean, I can sort of see where we get our slopes.
And then if you could also, this is the old orchard from
Okay.
the pioneer days, and so this is all kind of this could be a beautiful meadow area up in here.
That's nice. That, you know, is there some water rights directly attributed to that one or not? You know, in that meadow or not? I can't remember.
Well, the water all comes through here. I mean, it you know, and there's creeks and you know, there's water running most of the
if
year.
you own it all, in theory, you could sell the water rights from another piece over to this if they're coming from the same watershed or from the same.
You just
Transfer 'em.
Just transfer them, or
Yeah, that's
just
what I was
just
saying. Is if you
transfer
wanted
them,
to
or
merge it-
use them, or sell
Yeah.
them, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But there's water rights going way back to the 20s.
Okay.
Over here, we got water rights here, over here, and up here, and river, and a lot of the water comes down and you know pretty much went through the town. This was the old mill site. Was here on our property here and on this Forest Service. This was the old Southern Oregon sugar pine mill right here.
Is there anything left?
Not really. I mean, maybe some old foundations.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the Forest Service, correct? And they have apartments right here?
The Forest Service has some apartments right there.
And it looks like there's a little bit of residential stuff over.
This is the
across
entire
there.
Forest Service compound over here.
Oh, okay.
This is their main compound.
That was kind of your what Forest Service is.
That's the Umpqua National Forest.
Okay.
Well, I'm up to see more of the property.
All
Can you
right.
join us?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sure. And that would, well, we'd have time to.
Okay.
To
So just to recap, I got you on video now. We have some residences down here. Currently your sister's living in them? Okay.
I have a sister living in this
Okay.
one.
Now,
I have a sister that is somewhat occupying that one.
Okay.
now is one of those that it looks like a probably teens or 20s craftsman type house. It's got
A
the two
white
little,
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. I mean, they're included, but it's just they're living in them, and
Yeah, that's
they're
not.
they're not all that interested
No.
in selling the property.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd rather see the apple orchard and where you were talking
yeah,
about. Can you
yeah.
point that on here now? So where we're going, guys, will
the
be
apple orchard, we will be coming to view the apple orchard. We'll be going up this road right here and in here, and then up through here. That's the apple orchard right there.
and that gives you a nice overlook of everything.
Not so much once you get up in there.
Okay. But
because
if we were to
there's a hill.
hike behind that development, we could see.
If
as
you
yours-
if you were to come in to where the water tanks are right here, you can walk in along here, and this is kind of a bench up in here where you could have some home sites.
Let's see what time permits.
And here's the water source up here. I think
The water
That
source,
is
the water
not on-
source
okay, is
is
outside of the
right
property.
about here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But those rights coming out of there go back to 1952.
So just real quick, as far as I can tell, if inside the structures aren't as important with you, but they are more important to Wolf, I think since your flight and time is limited, let's start with the water.
Sure.
Come down to AJ Tillers. Come through here if there's any importance. Do you have any kind of interest in a store at all or not?
I do. Yeah, we should get that.
Yeah, we
And,
wanna
and
see that.
actually, what you did on the way out here, where you were driving by and just talking about the residences, that's fine by me.
Okay, so then that way, if there's something like an inside a house or something that you need to see, then even if he's time constrained, we can bolt. Is that okay with you, Rick? Or I mean,
Well, I'm not sure. My sister that's
I told him
here
they
in
might
this
see
one
those.
we can see
Now, see-
is wanting to leave. So I if I've got a key, I can get in it.
Okay.
Is that the white one or the other one?
That's the other one.
Oh, okay.
That's the one up in the.
If you can, if there's any way that you can get Garrett just some pictures of what's going on inside the house. I want some idea, because that might be the house would be the parsonage for us.